Hey guys, welcome to On Your Mind podcast. I am your host, Melissa de Loera. Whenever you guys will be watching this, it's going to be Tuesday, October 1st. And happy spooky season. Happy first day of the month. I know it's fall, the vibes are coming in, and I'm excited because I love fall so much. I love me a good bonfire, some s'mores. Oh, love me a good s'more. And I don't know if you guys celebrate Halloween, but I do, and I'm excited because I have 2 costumes in mind that I want to do this year. So we'll see how that goes. Won't say just yet what I'm going to be. But how are you guys? I hope you're doing good. I hope everything's going great with this new month, bringing in new intentions. And yeah, I know me. What have I been up to? I've been pretty busy. It's been go, go, go. I know this past month, past week, I've been pretty booked from Monday to Sunday. So I've been just all over the place. I know a friend asked me, like, how have you not had a mental breakdown? And honestly, I feel like this topic today is perfect because, I feel like I owe a big chunk of my success mindset and worth ethic to this topic, which I'll be bringing up in a sec. But I owe a big chunk of this to this topic. And I just wanted to go over how exactly, my success mindset comes from. So for episode 3, I wanted to go over the feeling of, are you doing enough? I know I struggle with that, as well as being a first gen, having like that immigrant mindset and basically breaking generational trauma. So I'm excited for this one because I feel like this is a topic that we tend to just kind of sweep under the rug and don't really talk about. It does take some vulnerability as well. So I'm here to open-mindedness. And whether you are someone listening and you can't really relate because you don't come from, immigrant parents or anything like that, I feel like this is such a good episode still because you kind of get to open your mind to different perspective as well as like the success mindset and just like shifting your mind a bit. So I do want to give you guys a little background just to kind of, set the mood and like about my childhood and everything like that. So when I say immigrant parents, in my case, I know we all brought up so differently. We all have different backgrounds, upbringings, everything. In my case, I have an immigrant parent. So my dad came here to the U.S. when he was 17 years old. He came from Aguascalientes, Mexico, and my mom was born in the U.S. So they quickly fell in love. They, I feel like when it comes to our culture, Hispanic culture, we're definitely much, getting together, getting married, having kids type of thing. So my mom was a teen mom. She was very young when she had my oldest brother and I. And I will say she did a very good job with keeping our creativity busy to kind of distract us from reality. To kind of give example, the detergents, containers and all that, the plastic. My mom would recycle those and save it for us, my oldest brother and I, and she would create like a bowling pins outside with those containers. And we just use a ball. She'd always kept us so entertained. And I guess that's why I'm so creative, because I did have a mother that did keep our creativity so busy. But in the background, I never really noticed this because I was just so young, right? My dad coming here and having absolutely nothing to his name. My family did struggle. I know whether it is like government assistance, things like that. We didn't have much. My dad did an amazing job with making sure that we always had what we needed. You kind of start noticing like little things, whether my mom would work, my dad would take care of us, flip it around. My dad would work, my mom would take care of us, or, one of my aunts would. So they were just always busy working. And I feel like that creates a lot of being independent because, you're making sure everything's okay. Your sibling is fine, things like that. And I do know growing up, when it came to our household, it was a very strict household, as I've mentioned. If we're not studying or in the books, I'm either like cleaning, I should be cooking, I should be, just always busy. And it always hits me because I just think about how, it makes sense because our parents came here with the need to survive, that survival mindset. We are so privileged to have this whole, oh, I have a dream of becoming, an artist. I have a dream of becoming a doctor and different things like that. I know our parents once had a dream, and this honestly hits me so much, where I tend to get emotional at times. They had a dream as well, but our parents had to put that aside to be on the survival mode, making sure they're fine, everything's being met, and coming into a world so different and having to adjust is so insane to me. He would also treat me like one of the guys, one of the boys. I am a daughter out of 4 brothers, so he would treat me the way he would treat my siblings. And, I've been through the whole, hold this flashlight for me, you're holding it wrong. Would also help him with like landscaping, fixing something. I was also very curious as well, so I would always want to know how things work and things like that. So that created independency so quickly because, as I mentioned, our parents are so busy working, coming home so late at night that I did feel like I needed to take care of my siblings. When I moved to Texas, I felt very sad because I do feel this motherly responsibility when it came to my family, to where I left my siblings. It broke my heart because I felt like I needed to be there for them. And it does come when you have immigrant parents. It does feel like I feel like I'm responsible for my family being together. Even till this day as an adult, I feel that way. I feel like I need to make sure everyone's good. I tend to call myself the family manager. Another thing that really gets me with being first gen, I don't know if any of you else could relate, but I know my younger siblings, they definitely get the, soft love when it comes to my parents. And I'm sure this has came with them learning over the years, but my oldest brother and I definitely got the rough patches, you could say, of them being very strict and things like that, and showing very much tough love. I know with me, I've come over the years to realize I do forgive my parents, whether they've told me or not. I know they didn't know any better. And our parents, well, at least personally mine, my dad moving to the US at 17, my mom also didn't have her parents. So the way they showed love is they've never really received that love. And something that constantly crosses my mind is I wish I could go back in time and for them to somehow feel that safe love, to feel that support, to feel that hug that they so needed, and just to feel cared for. I try to do that as an adult. Whether, my dad's a landscaper, I'll call him up, see if I could take him some food or water or anything. And same with my mom. And that goes with first gen guilt. I also carry guilt of whenever I am having fun. Let's say I'm out with friends, brunch, having mimosas, having a good time. I have times where I have that first generational guilt where I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I having fun? Meanwhile, my dad is out there cutting yards in 100-degree weather. I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to have fun. And that just kind of comes, I feel like, with first generational trauma. They don't believe in splurging on themselves. They don't believe in just having fun and relaxing. It's always go because of just their survival mindset. They don't know how to kind of just take control and realize it's okay to relax. That's something I also struggle till this day. I feel guilty when I ask anyone for help. I feel like I'm weak if I ask for help. I feel like I'm not good enough if I ask for help, when now, that would kind of transpire into my relationship as well of, oh, I got this. No, let me do it. I've gotten so much better at just letting things happen and people helping me, because it's okay to ask for help. It really is. And also just realizing that it's so healthy to take a break. It's so healthy for yourself to kind of step back. And I love slow mornings, I look forward to that now. So this next part is definitely towards being a daughter to immigrant parents. I know me, as I mentioned, gender roles were so big in our house. A woman should be like this, a woman should dress like this, should be in the kitchen, and just things like that. I feel like it's also big in Hispanic culture where, you feel like if you're not that certain way, then you kind of question yourself, because it's kind of like an identity loss. And it's no, I think that's why I'm so secure in myself and who I am as a person in this day, was because I quickly at a young age realized that that's not healthy. And despite, what's modesty or anything like that, like that's doesn't define you as a woman and what makes a woman. That's something I've also just kind of dealt with. And I just realized that no, like what matters in reality is what I think about myself and what I think a woman is. And I feel like that could just be very toxic. And I hate the fact that our culture is very much like that. But at the end of the day, I know this has all pushed me into breaking generational trauma. And there's actually a quote that I love so much. And it says, "I don't want to tell the same story. I want to be the transformative story." And I repeat that to myself because it's true. I don't want to tell the same story as my parents, I do want to make a change, whether it is success, whether it is in the home, me as a person, the love I give. I want to be transformative. And I feel like a lot of us can relate with that, with breaking generational trauma. I feel like a few things with healing is realizing that we are deserving of things, whether we don't feel like it, whether we don't feel enough, whether you got up in the morning and all you did was survive for the day and make it through your day, like you're still so deserving of everything. You don't need to drain yourself or anything like that in order to feel successful, because sometimes even if it's not like financially or physically that you did something, like mentally, that's still a win to me in my book. And it's so important to remind yourself that. I know another thing when it came to kind of healing and working on myself is realizing that I am deserving of everything, and everything that is brought my way. I shouldn't feel guilty that I, am enjoying life compared to my parents. That definitely drives me though, is the fact that I know personally me, I have a goal of retiring my parents. That's definitely big up there. And I want to give them a taste of life. Like my dad, it's such a big year. He became a citizen this year. And now I'm so excited to show him the world, something that he's never been able to do. So I feel like realizing that we are deserving of this life and sharing a piece of it with our parents is big. Another thing with healing generational trauma is I realized how important boundaries are. This isn't spoken a lot because I know when it comes to also, again, the Hispanic culture, we kind of let disrespect happen. And I know like our parents will even let it happen just to keep the peace in the family, whether it is like an aunt, an uncle, or like, sibling or anything. They will allow you to get disrespected because why not just keep the peace? I realized how important it is to heal myself, how important boundaries are, because boundaries is basically you respecting yourself. And if you're not respecting yourself, no one's going to respect you. Something I don't like and am a fan of in our culture is the fact that when someone disrespects you, they'll be like, "Oh, that's just your aunt. That's just the way she is." It's like, why are we not checking these family members? I feel like taking accountability should be something that we work on, as well as boundaries and just growing as people, because that toxicity is not okay. And just because, I get the fact that they didn't work on themselves and have been just on survival mode doesn't make it okay. So I just started implementing boundaries, and I honestly can say like that's created so much peace in realizing that I am respecting myself and doing that work. And I feel like that should be reciprocated as well. But at the end of the day, yes, I am the daughter of an immigrant parent, and I am so, I honestly take pride in that. And a big chunk of my success, as I mentioned in the very beginning of this podcast, is like, how have you not had a mental breakdown, Melissa? And it's because literally I thank my dad so much. Despite everything, he has really instilled in me. And this goes to the immigrant mindset, the fact that nothing will get in our way because we have the mindset of we can do it all. Something about me is, yes, I do social media management as well as photography, but I also do basically construction. I do house renovations. I'll be demoing a house. Next thing you know, I'll get off work. I am covered in paint for painting a house, doing floors. I do vinyl, wood, everything. Like I love when it comes to house. And I know there is the whole like, you will never see me mowing a lawn, which I totally get it, you know, like I'm here for it. But me, like, I still mow a lawn because I'm like, well, my dad is out here mowing lawns. How can I not? And like just construction alone, I know some people are like, you shouldn't feel pressure to do that just because your parents did it. And it's like, it's not even that. It's instilled in me success. It's instilled in me the mindset of nothing can get in my way. I'm going to conquer it. And it gives me that drive at the end of the day, really is what it is, of I can do this. I got this. And I know the sky is the limit. So that's just kind of, you know, a little bit about me, a little bit I feel like we could share and relate in regards to being first gen and everything like that. And just kind of where my mindset comes, a piece of it comes from. And I honestly have to thank being a daughter of an immigrant so much because, yeah, it drives me every single day when I wake up. But yeah, you guys, that's basically it for episode 3. That's crazy. I feel like this whole talk went by so fast. And honestly, just want to say thank you guys so much if you're still listening. I've been reading all of your guys' support and messages, and every time I read them, I'm like, this just doesn't feel real. You guys don't understand what that does to me inside. But other than that, you guys, it's been amazing. I'll see you next Tuesday, and don't forget to stay mindful. See you next time. Bye.